Yep, thank you for showing up. This small session is actually just about sharing knowledge about this event platform module we used to build the DrupalCamp Berlin website, which helped us a lot to organize a lot of things, like with the session proposals and with building the schedule and with like arranging sessions and having speakers sign up. And for that, it's really great. It's quite a limited use case. So that you are here probably means that you either are organizing maybe an event for yourself, or maybe just are curious about getting to learn a new module. And for that, this session will be super good because, yeah. This event platform module is a Drupal contract module. We used it for DrupalCamp Berlin. It was always used for Drupal Dev Days Vienna and probably also other events, Drupal-related events. But you can also use it for any other like tech talks event. If you have an event where people are supposed to hand in sessions, propose sessions, and you select them and build a schedule from it, then this is the perfect module to be used. Yeah, so this is me. I'm a senior full stack developer, happy part-time employee at 1x Internet. I hang out a lot on Drupal Answers and help curate the site. That's kind of reading newspaper for me during breakfast. And yeah. Let's have a look at the demo video that you also can find on the project page on Drupal.org, because it really nicely sums up all the functionality that comes with when you enable the module.
Drupal event platform has been created to make it easy for event organizers to quickly install a Drupal website with features that are commonly needed, particularly for accepting.
Wait, how do I make it louder? I still have this touch bar and I can see the light. No, there's nothing. I have to go to settings, yeah. Sound.
I think it was okay.
Nah, maybe it's too loud now. Ah, there it is. Okay, on my touch bar.
Session submissions, scheduling the accepted submissions, and then displaying them in an easy-to-use online schedule display. Let's take a look at the process of installing these features on a fresh copy of Drupal 10.1. What you can see here is that fresh copy of Drupal 10.1. The only modules that I've installed are for Devel to generate our sessions, and I've also installed the Admin theme just to make it look a little prettier. So let's go ahead and install our Drupal event platform. What we're going to do is actually install this event platform Olivero module, which will not only install all of the other submodules, but it will also place the blocks in their intended positions within the Olivero theme. So if we go ahead and install that, and let us know all of the different modules that will be installed as part of this process. Now that that's done, we can go back to our home page, and we can see that there are some blocks that have been placed on the home page here. So we've got options to add a featured speaker or a sponsor. Let's go ahead and follow the prompt to provide our event info. So I'm going to put in some fictitious event information. We'll give it a start date and an end date. So let's say July 26th to 29th. Probably going to be something like submit a session. And we'll give it some text. just some dummy text for now. Let's go ahead and save that. And now on the home page, we can see where it's really placed all of that different information. So we've got the name of our camp, the dates, and the location, as well as the description, all at the top of the home page. And then if we scroll to the bottom, we can see it's automatically populating the camp name and year as part of the copyright block at the bottom. Again, all of these are things that, as a site organizer, you have the flexibility to update and change to whatever your requirements are, but just trying to give you some of these capabilities out of the box. Let's go ahead now and generate some sessions so that we can really see some of the session handling capabilities in action. All right, we've generated 20 different speaker users using Devel and actually generated 30 different sessions for those users. And I've also gone through and just sort of shortened up the main navigation here a little bit so that it would display a little nicer than what we did on the fresh install. Obviously, you're going to want to tweak this for your individual camp, and you may be using a custom theme as well. But just wanted to sort of quickly cover some of the things that were covered as part of that sort of content generation process. So now that we've got sessions, we can actually go into our list of sessions. We have the ability to sort of do, simple text searches, filter it down by audience or category. And these are all sort of created by default, but you'll probably want to customize these for the specifics of your individual camp. It's going to display a set of these by default out of the box. It is going to order these randomly so that each time you come in, you're going to sort of see a different set of sessions, but you may want to change that again to be alphabetical, show the newest first, completely up to you and what you think makes the most sense. Obviously, once you have gone through and sort of, accepted some sessions and rejected others, you may want to change this view to only show accepted sessions and then update the title accordingly. But again, all of those are things that you'll want to customize for your individual camp. That being said, let's look at the process of going through now and actually scheduling our accepted sessions. So if we go up to our event details menu, we can see that we have this session schedule option. When we go in here, it's got the list of all of the accepted sessions that we have, but it's also telling us that we don't have any time slots created yet. So by default, it's going to create 3 different rooms. Again, you're going to want to customize those, but there's also this tool to generate the time slots. So you can have the start and end date. By default, it's going to use the dates of the camp, but maybe the last day we want to set as a contribution day, so we just want for the first 3 days. Obviously, the start times, you're going to want to customize by sort of whatever makes sense for your camp. Same thing with the durations per time slot. But for the sake of this demo, we're just going to go ahead and use those defaults. So now that it has gone through, it's created all of the time slots based on those parameters. We now go back to our session schedule. We can see that we have all of those different time slots. We've got the rooms. Again, these are the defaults, but you'll want to customize that list. And now it's a simple drag and drop process to assign the different sessions to different kind of rooms and time slots. But what we just saw there is that if the same user has created 2 different sessions, it's actually not going to let you schedule those in the same time slot, and it's going to highlight in red exactly which session has that conflict. So let's just add a couple more into that first time slot and point out here. Now you can see that one of those has sort of got a red border around it. The text is in red to sort of, again, draw attention to which of those, the sessions in that time slot actually has the conflict. But we can go through here and continue to populate those out. I'll point out as well that we also have filters that we can use. So if you wanted to, as an example, maybe use one room to cater to a specific audience, you could do something like, say, maybe only show me the beginner sessions, and now maybe we want to always try and have those things around just so we can try and have maybe all of our beginner sessions in room A, so on. Great. So you can see it was a fairly simple process to sort of drag and drop and schedule all of those. You have options in terms of being able to filter those if you want to sort of, either group together things by theme, within rooms or on certain days. Lots of flexibility there in terms of giving you feedback as you schedule. So that being done, let's go back to the front end of the website and actually look at the schedule that has been created. So you can see it's got tabs for each of the 3 days. It's grouping together within the time slot each of these different sessions. Obviously the specifics in terms of exactly what information you want listed here, very easy to configure. These are actually using teasers. So configure that view mode for your session content type and very easy to sort of customize. Let's go into one of these to sort of show you a little bit in terms of how it displays. So we've got the title and then the full description. For each of the users, it's going to have their profile picture and then their username linking to their bio page. But obviously, if you'd prefer to actually show some kind of instead of linking off to their bio, you could maybe show that in line here. Very, again, simple to configure in terms of how that's going to display. This is, again, using just a view mode. So very simple for a site builder to configure. But that's really sort of what you get out of the box. There are also features for, as we've seen, featured speakers, sponsors. You can have job listings. All of that, again, you get out of the box with the event platform and might be something we could cover in a future demo video.
Yeah, so you saw that you get quite a lot of stuff from just installing the module. And it's also interesting to see, okay, who actually is maintaining that module. There's the person who just gave the short introduction, Martin Anderson-Klatz. There is also Mike Herschel in the maintainers list. Martin is working at Acquia, and they all kind of are involved with the Drupal Association. So they also have this kind of expert knowledge on what it takes to host a camp and all the specialties that happen when you organize a camp. And you also see that there is not a big number of websites using that module. Of course, there's just a limited number of camps happening all over the world all the time. And still, yeah, if there are still websites that simply don't use it, and maybe it didn't exist back then also, it's a fairly new module. Yeah. As a base, okay, we've seen what you get out of the box. So what we've seen there is that it provides all the business logic and the data module for organizing your event already. So you have to have a website, of course, and you enable that module and you get different content types. He spoke about sessions. Of course, we need sessions and they have different fields like what time slots and speakers and so on, title, description. We have a featured speaker content type. This is because the featured speaker is not supposed to be associated with an actual user. It's more like having this entity being also teased on the website with different fields that is supposed to be like a user entity. Also job listings, sponsors, they're all content types. It's already. So then we have the user roles, a speaker user role who can register on the website before they propose their session, and a session moderator user role, the person that actually moves all the talks, the sessions around, putting them in slots, and is able to also change things like room names or time slots, for example. There is this really nice UI that they've shown. There is a scheduler.js file that is taking care of that. I also had that open here. So, and looking at it, it's really nicely organized, this JS file that takes care of all this drag and drop. So it's, I can say, oh, this is really a nicely and well-maintained module, and it's working super well. As you have seen, it takes care of avoiding conflicts when a speaker is already having the session in the same module when you move this another session of the same speaker into the same time slot. Then it also provides vocabularies for the business logic. The rooms and the room names can simply be changed. That's not in config. You don't have to be afraid that you overwrite it. It's just taxonomy terms you can rename. the session audience level, like beginner and advanced and so on, can also be renamed. The categories, whatever you need, like the different tracks you have, the sponsorship levels. Sometimes you want to have it named a diamond sponsor or something else, or a premium sponsor, main sponsor, whatever. You simply rename it. And also the time slots is that button you click to generate the time slots you then have in this nice UI to fill in the sessions. It also provides workflows for session acceptance and also like a session first is proposed and then it may be accepted or may be rejected, and depending on that, event platform also provides emails, automated emails to be sent out if a state changes. Like if a session is submitted, you get then confirmation, hey, session submitted, yeah. If it got accepted, you get an email, hey, your session got accepted, if rejected, and so on. So this is all there already. And also it's provides, like with the module, this got enabled in the demo first, this event platform Olivero module, which might also be a problem, I will talk about that later, provides certain views or places, even blocks on the website that are there already to, I don't know, have a nice big button for a call to action or propose your session or something like that. And also the views for displaying the sessions later, they are there already, and you can simply customize them. You don't have to build them from scratch. So what's missing? I also asked, because we at 1x Internet, we built that website, and there were other volunteers taking care of session acceptance and review. And I asked them, hey, what do you think was missing in the website when you worked with those sessions and the whole workflow? And there's this one small thing that you can't have different time slots in the sense of length. Like you set one session length once, and you can't simply say, okay, this session, so the default length maybe is 60 minutes, and I can't put two 30-minute sessions into that slot. That's maybe a nice feature request for future versions. What also would be nice is to have kind of an automated speaker confirmation process. So as soon as a session gets accepted, the mail gets sent out. It would be super cool if there's already a link in it where the speaker then simply can say, yeah, I double opt in and confirm I can give this session then at the event. And what's also missing is kind of an internal rating process for moderators. What the track team did was getting all the sessions out into an Excel table, and then do the review process on spreadsheets. And would be cool that it would be also possible for the moderators to have an anonymously voting process, so they can rate the sessions, and then you can sort them or accept them by that criteria later. And also it's missing kind of an independence. So we at 1x Internet, we have our own distribution profile, and then we put this event platform module on top. But this event platform module actually requires that you have a standard profile installed. It requires that the restricted HTML text format is there already, or it requires that this field image field is there already, that this comes with the standard installation when you have articles. And it's also missing a more distinct naming. For example, when you install the module, a lot of config also gets important to the site, containing, for example, fields with a quite general name like field weight or field batch. But fields with this name can exist already in an existing project. Field weight is something I see rather often, that there's a field already with that name. Yeah, but anyways, that's the main message of this short session is don't reinvent the wheel, because when we started to build the website, the design was done already, and then we thought again, how do we implement it? Do we just do a fresh installation and create all the session content types and find some logic on how this will work? And we almost started, but then there was Nico from Drupal Austria who had a talk with Buddy, and he shared knowledge how he used the event platform module. Buddy told me, and then cool, we can use this already and start and bring already all the business logic, and took a lot of amount of work from our shoulders to take more time maybe and making it look nicer in the end. So if you are involved in the process of organizing a tech event, one that requires session to be proposed, accepted, and so on, consider using that module, contribute back, create issues, the drill, because then it can get better, and it's super nice to use, and I think everybody should know it. Thank you. Feel free to reach out on Telegram or maybe on my website, right? lol@norman.lol. You can write me an email. Thanks for joining. Yeah.
So how much custom code is in there? Is most of it just configuration? So the background for my question is whether it could be converted to a Drupal recipe?
Absolutely, it can, and I also there was a suggestion already when I created a feature request for certain things that most of it probably should be included into a recipe, and I hope work on it will start soon. There is not much custom code included. The JavaScript file maybe is the biggest. Most of it, yes, most of it is configuration. Yeah.
And the maintainer is very active.
Martin. Yeah.
He probably already did it.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it sounded like he answered also in one of my issues, and then it sounded like he's already working on it.
Yeah, so you're running around at the venue, talking to people that actually use the module, and you gathered the feedback that you just presented. What will you do with that? Are you in contact with the maintainers, or how?
No, I will also create feature requests from that. So because that would be really awesome improvements to have in that module, make it even better. Yeah.
For this camp, you developed the theme specifically only for this event, right?
Yes.
Is that contributed, the theme? Because I think it looks quite nice here.
No, unfortunately, no. So it's where was also developed internally. It's built on our own design system.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there are no plans to contribute that?
No, I wouldn't. I think it would not be easy to contribute this back, because it's quite internal custom, built on internal custom web components. But
so I think there just came out the design brief for the design for Drupal CMS, and that will be implemented in 2025. And probably it makes sense to just build a recipe that's nicely compatible or extends like this design, because then you can have Drupal CMS, nice looking with this functionality.
Okay.
And I think that would be probably the best, even much better than having something that's now a bit customized and very opinionated. So that would probably be even better.
so you're like how it now seamlessly builds on top of Olivero, it might build on top
Exactly,
of the.
yes.
Okay,
we
yeah.
don't have like a theme and design system for Drupal CMS yet.
Yeah.
It's supposed to come out in the beginning of 25, and I think that would be, of course, optimal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we just have DrupalCamp Scotland, and the website's pretty crap, to be honest. So we need to do some work on the website for next year. But so this could be a really good.
Yeah.
It's really useful. The only thing, as you said, that related with me is we did have different lengths of in our schedule. We only had one track, but like different lengths of presentations. So that would be something which we would have to, either we'd have to work for, so we'd have to standardize on the length of presentation.
Yeah.
Can you do like breaks in the schedule? Presumably, you just don't put if you need like an hour, so say you have like a lunch break.
Yeah.
Here.
You would actually create a session then that's called lunch break, and then you put that into the schedule.
But that would have to be the same length as everything else, right?
Yeah.
Or I guess you could have multiple lunch breaks.
Yes.
But then on the front end, would they all show up in the schedule as separate
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the different length issue we also had. But as you also saw maybe in the demo, there's the point when you can create the time slots, and you can say one is from one to from two, and you could say you could let a gap in between these time slots.
Yeah. Is that what you did with this one with today? Because you have like the camp here, we've got like set 10-15 minute gaps between all of the different sessions.
Yes, the time slots were created, and the actual length, there was also one configuration for setting the default length of the sessions, is then shorter than the actual time slot is.
Yeah. But see, like all of this, like because I appreciate what you're saying, like this stylings for the DrupalCamp Scotland website, this kind of thing would be perfect. Like all of the colouring and the styling of like that's the kind of thing that would be much better than just all the barrels. So again, I appreciate what you're saying. Like make this available, but I think that's something where, as you said, if we have a Drupal CMS, if we have a design system or something, like this kind of thing there could be components in that design system that covers these use cases, right? And then that would work. But,
and also this nice thing that the sessions in the past are grayed out now, and the ones that are taking place right now have this red dot. It was just something Yannick, my colleague, just released in the night before the event started, but it makes absolute sense, and you have all the information available already, like what time is now and when is past and when is future, and you can just use a little bit of CSS to make that happen.
Colors, did you just do like field on the taxonomy and then you just expose that to the theme?
I think so, yeah. There was a color field, where you could select, I know you could enter the hex code, but
actually, I have a question I should be able to answer myself, but the language marker at the end is part of the title, right? So
now it became,
So is there a distinguished field for the language of the session, or
Yeah, when we started the organization of the camp, we decided that we want to accept both German and English sessions, and then we created a field to select the language. So and have the speakers decide.
That would also be a good feature request, I think.
Yes, true. Yeah. I will need to write that down.
Let's just start a list of all the feature requests we all want, and then
Yeah, nice. Thank you. Thanks for joining.